Welcome to the Saturday Showcase here on the SFL, presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. I'm your studio host, Cameron Irvine. Today, it is a big one. The 7-3 Tulsa Desperados visit the Hive to take on the 9-1 Atlanta Swarm. Here's what's at stake. Atlanta is your number one seed right now. They have had a fantastic season, winning in improbable fashion last Monday night on a 54-yard field goal that hit the left upright and bounced in. They remain your only one-loss team in the SFL. They control their own destiny, and with a win today, they will get one step closer to home field advantage throughout the playoffs, something they have not enjoyed since season 14 when they won their first and only championship. Tulsa is just trying not to make a mess of things down the stretch. They lost last week to Seattle in an upset stunner. Now 7-3, they are trailing the Minnesota Legend in their own Central Division by a half a game. And that is due to Minnesota's victory earlier this week against Louisiana in the final minute. So for Tulsa, if they win today, they go back into the top four. They go back into the league in the lead in the Central Division with one game to go. Their last game being against Indianapolis, who Atlanta beat on Monday. It's a big one. Mark Lopez, Ramos Lynn have the call. When we come back, 7-3 Tulsa, 9-1 Atlanta. You're watching the SFL Saturday Showcase presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be right back.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. Is the SFL Week 13 action between the Tulsa Desperados and the Atlanta Swarm. Good afternoon, good evening to you all. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Ramos Ling. Alongside me in the booth is Mr. Mark Lopez. Justin Reside and Ron Haynes are in the stats truck. Our producer is Mr. Cameron Irvine. And Mark, this is a battle of two titans, man. The Atlanta Swarm, perhaps the best team in the Simulation Football League this season, against a complete surprise in the Tulsa Desperados at 7-3. What are your keys for this matchup? Good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon to you too. You're right, this is gonna be definitely a battle of the Titans. Titans who are no strangers to each other, Ramos. 9 total matchups spanning since season 11. Atlanta being the major favorite out of those games. And in this matchup, Atlanta has home court. Tulsa has never won in this court. That might be a key to this game, just a home court advantage. But we'll see how Tulsa's elite rushing game will be going up against Atlanta's elite rushing defenses. on the ground, that'll be an interesting matchup. On the other side, Tulsa's defense, their takeaway game, incredible. It's number 2 in the league. Gonna snatch a ball away from Atlanta. They're gonna try to snatch a win against Atlanta.
The Tulsa Desperados are set to receive the ball first. Atlanta's going to put their defense on the field to start this one. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. And we are underway from Atlanta. On the return is Gabriel Manning from inside the end zone, always dangerous, past the 15, and just the 20-yard line as Atlanta does a good job making the tackle right there at the 20. Let's introduce you right quick to the Tulsa Desperado offense. JQ and Douglas Brown with Lars Bizarre in the backfield. Sansa Robinson, Curry Jones, DJ Hume, and Gabriel Manning are your wide receivers. The tight end is DJ Bandit. And in the offensive line, Will Stevens and Phoebe Collins both made the All-Star game last season at left tackle and left guard respectively. From the shotgun 3 wide receivers, this pass to DJ Hume is caught for a gain of 7 yards to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of DJ Hume, a lot of Gabriel Manning. Those are the key players to look out for in this Tulsa Desperado offense. Both performed well in their last game, but so far in the season, they're pretty solid.
Second down and 3. 3 backs on the field for Tulsa. We're going to give it to Douglas Brown of the left-hand side. Brown has some space, gets the first down to the 31, a gain of 4. Let's introduce you to the Atlanta defense. Mickey Gibson and Billy Ray Valentine are the defensive ends. Leo Jefferson and Joshua Williams are the defensive tackles. Cree Higgins, Diamond Blackwell, and Aquanta Shine are your linebackers. And the DBs are Jack Napier, Don Fletcher, Jay Miraculous, Moose Papineau, Grant Hardaway, and Chris Henry in his 6th season with the Swarm. Cue to throw. The pass is to the outside to Douglas Brown, and he's going to get maybe a yard. Cree Higgins and Aquanta Shine combined with a tackle.
And Douglas Brown, another one of the premier running backs in the league, playing for Tulsa's offense. 209 carries in the season, 937 yards. He is looking for that 1K rushing yard this game.
Second down and 9 from the shotgun. Q will pass. Swings it to the outside. That's Douglas Brown who tries to make a spin. Not successful. Does get to the 35-yard line. A gain of about 3. 3rd and 6 coming up. The Atlanta Swarm favored by 4.5 according to Jack's data. The over-under at 54.5 points. Two teams that have a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the football. Douglas Brown is one of them. Let's see if we get some Gabriel Manning on this. The pass does go to Gabriel Manning, and he goes to the 47-yard line for another Desperado first down.
One of the top 20 targeted receiver in this league, number 18th in fact, with 89 targets in the season. So not surprising that the ball went that way in a third down situation, and your third and medium. When you find your steadiest hands, your most reliable hands, Gabriel Manning was the person for that job.
3 wide receiver set. Looks for DJ Hume here backside, one-on-one. They're going to hand the ball off instead to Douglas Brown, who makes a spin move. A nice run on first down. A gain of 7 yards. And Tulsa is into Atlanta territory.
That was a little bit of creativity from Douglas Brown, as just a little bit of an opening in the middle. The opening caused by the defender collapsing into the backfield. And Douglas Brown just takes advantage.
On second down and 3, another handoff goes to Douglas Brown, gets a block, and Douglas Brown is past the 40 to the 38-yard line as Cree Higgins makes the tackle again. And Tulsa gets yet another first down. This drive already spanning 3 minutes in length.
I think Manning, one of the players who made the key block, number 40 right there, the one that gave Douglas the extra yards for the first down conversion. And what a start from Douglas Brown. Ramos, I think he's looking to be the spark plug of this Tulsa offense.
From the I formation, twins to the bottom of your screen. To throw, Q checks it down to Douglas Brown, and he goes nowhere this time as Aquanta Shine makes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 5 on the play. And that's Atlanta's big defensive linebacker making the tackle for a loss. The first big play by this defense so far in this game.
Yeah, Atlanta has been 17th in the league in passing yards allowed per game, and good D-stop on that play.
Another check down goes to Douglas Brown. This time he has some room in gaining the yards back that he lost in the previous play. A gain of 5 to make it a 3rd and 10. A lot of check downs, a lot of passes to the outside. Douglas Brown has been involved heavily here on the first play, or the first drive in this game, sorry. Haven't seen anything from Sansa Robinson or Corey Jones so far. Now they're on the field. Q to throw, deep drop back. JQ checks it down, and the pass is going to be caught and shy of the first down. It's Corey Jones on a quick hook route. Just about a yard shy, and a decision here for Tulsa.
Yeah, and in many cases, that would have been a first down if not for the loss earlier on. And what is this, Ramos? They're lining up with their offense, trying to pull out a trick play, perhaps.
Heavy set on offense against the nickel defense for Atlanta. And it looks like JQ may just be trying to catch the swarm defense off guard. And Atlanta's not going to budge on this one. Tulsa will be forced to call a timeout. But a really solid drive, Mark. Almost 5 minutes here in the first drive of the game. The Desperados with a chance to put some points on the board first.
Yeah, absolutely solid drive. 7 of 7 passing plays. So a perfect 100% on that for JQ. And as you pointed out, just a good start, good running. You establish your run game. And that'll hopefully set up your passing game down the road as this game evolves. But they're going to settle for 3 points, and they're going to put themselves up on the board first, pending this field goal, of course.
Going to be from about 46 yards out from the right hash. The hold and the snap are good, and the kick is up, and it is also good from 46 yards away. 3-0. Tulsa leads Atlanta. Tulsa Desperados. Again, Mark, going back to what we said at the beginning of the broadcast, one of the surprise teams here in the SFL. 7-3. JQ finally coming into his own as a pro. And he's played really well. In the first drive, 7-7.
Yeah, absolutely. And JQ as well. When we look at his season so far, incredible efficiency from him. A solid efficiency at least. Almost 70%, 66%. But really, it's his combination with Douglas Brown. Uh-oh!
What a return past midfield. Here we go, past the 40, and I don't think anybody's going to catch Kyle Fenimore, who's going to go all the way for an Atlanta touchdown. And Tulsa took 5 minutes off the clock, got 3 points. Atlanta only needed about 10 seconds to put the ball in the end zone.
You could see the Hornets on the background celebrating with the team. Boy, what a stinger of a play. Oh my goodness. And yeah, that was just, I wouldn't say poor coverage, but he just really slipped the defense of the special teams. And the return touchdown sets them on the board in a hurry. And, we were talking about how they used 5 minutes, and you mentioned Tulsa, maybe perhaps wanted to use controlling the time of possession. Well then, Atlanta says, well, we'll score in less time than you need.
Wow, what a response here by the Swarm. Only about 10 seconds in. We're not even going to see Brian Dynasty and company on the field, and the Swarm are up 7-3. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time, but are simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL is football for everyone. Speaking about dangerous returners, we're going to see Gabriel Manning get his chance now.
Oh yeah, he's dangerous. 3 return touchdowns off kickoffs this season already.
Well, that's not going to be Gabriel Manning, actually. That's going to be the up back, the number 2 returner here. That's Rebello on the return. And we're going to take another look at JQ and company. So, really good first drive, Mark. They, combined the run and the pass very successfully. JQ 7 of 7. Douglas Brown has looked pretty good so far in this game, both in the run and the pass. This is another throw, and that one swatted away by Higgins. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, and Higgins really just sat there in the middle of the field, and that ball thrown down his zone, that's gonna go nowhere past him. Good defensive play right there, good read, and the first miss by JQ in this evening.
2nd down and 10 yards to go. Shotgun, empty set. Q will throw. JQ passes the ball, goes deep, and the pass is deflected away again, almost picked off. There's Henry with another pass deflection for the Swarm in back-to-back plays, and it's now 3rd and long.
Yeah, and that one could easily have been an interception if the ball was grabbed much closer to their chest. Atlanta with 25 takeaways in the season, that's number 10 in the league. No slouch, so Tulsa has to be careful. They better not be sloppy in throwing the ball away towards Atlanta, because already Atlanta scored quick. They don't want to give them another chance.
This pass goes to the receiver, and getting a first down is Sansa Robinson.
Wow.
First catch of the game for Robinson. 10th season in the league. 10th with Tulsa. He used to be the running back, now moving to the wide receiver spot as a few seasons ago. And what a great play. A great job by JQ.
Yeah, absolutely great effort too by Robinson. You saw right there, 3 yards behind the first down marker, and he pushes it, gets the first down for his team.
Another throw by JQ. The pass goes to the outside. That's Douglas Brown with the catch. Getting about 3 on the play. Up to the 31-yard line. And nothing too crazy, nothing too flashy, but I think Tulsa's doing a really good job on their first 2 drives of the game. Good play calling.
I think Ree Higgins as well, credit on that play. He was blocked heavily, but able to shed his block and tackle Douglas Brown.
To throw again, the pass is a check down. And getting the tight end DJ Vandit involved. First season with the Desperados, used to be a vulture. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 5. And decision here, you have a lot of things you can do, Mark. Obviously, most likely a pass, but you have a lot of weapons and you have a lot of things you can do here. 2 wide receivers and a tight end on this formation, actually. They're going to throw up the middle, and the pass intended for DJ Hume is incomplete as he heard the footsteps. Almost intercepted on the play by Chris Henry, and Tulsa will have to punt.
Yeah, the fullback Lars Bizarre as well, and the area of that where the ball landed, perhaps crowding up the area a little bit. But you're right, good defensive stop by Atlanta. First defensive stop that results in a punt in this game, and Tulsa is now going to be hard pressed to stop this Atlanta. They're hoping this does not become as a fair catch, but they were hoping for no other special team shenanigans.
Either way, Atlanta's going to have some decent field position on their first drive at the 30-yard line. Let's introduce you to the Atlanta Swarm offense. Brian Dynasty is the quarterback. BDG Hollywood and Mitchell O'Brien are in the backfield. Kyle Fenimore, Siege Falco, and Boo Chisholm are the wide receivers. Jamal Wooding is the tight end, and the offensive lineman on the left is Carter Hollywood and Sam Falco, left tackle and left guard respectively, both undrafted rookies. First down and 10. Dynasty to throw. Dynasty up the middle. The pass is deflected away and almost intercepted, then almost caught. The ball goes to the ground, though. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, almost intercepted by the number 2 team in takeaways. That's Tulsa with 32 in the season. In 10 games, if you do the math, that's about around 3 takeaways per game. So this is a dangerous team to throw to.
2nd down and 10 yards to go with the ball at the 30-yard line. Offset I formation for the Swarm. Handoff goes to BDG Hollywood off the right-hand side, sorry. This is going to be a 7-yard pickup all the way to the 37-yard line. And Tulsa will have a 3rd down and 3 defensively. An important 3rd down and 3 here early in the first quarter. It's weird to say that a third down in the first quarter is important, but I think that Tulsa, to keep pace with Atlanta, perhaps the best team in the SFL, they have to really get some momentum early. Hand off to O'Brien, and Mitchell O'Brien's going to get a first down. You don't see a fullback run on 3rd and 3 very often. That works to Atlanta's benefit, and they move the chains.
Yeah, not too often from Mitchell O'Brien, who's averaging just around 2.1 carries per game. That is his first carry of this game, and a great surprise play by them to hand it off to the fullback, gets them the first down. And Atlanta is rearing to go down the field.
1st down and 10. The ball is at the 42-yard line. Offset I formation. Another handoff to BDG Hollywood. He gets some space. BDG gets the first down all the way to the 47-yard line of Tulsa. As the Swarm move the chains one more time.
That's the second time BDG has combined with his left guard, Sam Falco. Sam Falco with some good and creative blocking as well, just allowing BDG some room to spin left or right of him. And that's what gave BDG the space for a huge run in the first down.
1st down and 10. With the ball at the 47, 3 wide receivers. Another handoff off the right-hand side. BDG makes a spin move all the way to the 38, a 9-yard gain. And Atlanta's really doing some work on the right-hand side.
9-yard gain, a 9-yard average per carry for BDG, as he is up to 27 yards in only 3 attempts. All of those in this drive, of course. This is only their first offensive drive, but great from him so far.
2nd down and 1. Mitchell O'Brien gets another handoff, and another first down for O'Brien to the 36.
Wow. And just from that play alone, I think Tulsa might not have much against the handoff to the fullback. Twice already they've been had for first downs, and Atlanta took advantage.
1st down and 10 at the 36. They're going to throw. The pass goes to BDG Hollywood with some space. BDG tries to make a spin. Doesn't work. Still a gain of 5 to the 31-yard line. And Ichigati, the guard, is on the ground. Take a look at this replay, and big hit provided by the linebacker. Big counter block. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Hopefully it's just with the wind taken out of his chest. Looked like he got hit by the shoulder of the linebacker into his chest.
All right, 2nd down and 5 with the ball at the 31-yard line. Bunch formation to the top of the screen.
Wow.
BDG doesn't get anything on the ground. First time BDG goes backwards. 3rd down and 8.
And that's Tulsa pulling a playbook out of Atlanta and literally swarming BDG Hollywood in that defensive play. And great tackle for loss. Combined tackle for loss by this defense of Tulsa. Tulsa, maybe not the best in terms of rushing yards allowed per game, but for sure when it comes to rushing defense, scoring rushing defense, they're pretty solid.
4 wide receivers. The pass middle is caught by Fenimore. Another first down for the Swarm, as this may be the last play of the first quarter of play. But Atlanta keeps going on a really impressive drive. May be able to see one more play. BDG and Mitchell O'Brien in the backfield. They're going to throw. The pass to Wooding is caught. A little bit dangerous as one of the DBs was lurking on the play. A gain of 5. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Atlanta 7, Tulsa 3. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music right here on NLS TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back here at the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. The Atlanta Swarm lead 7-3. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Ramos Ling, alongside Mark Lopez. 2nd down and 5 yards to go for Atlanta. From the offset eye, 2 tight ends in the formation. BDG gets a handoff, tries to make a spin move, but it's gang tackle right there past the line of scrimmage. Only a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 4. And Mark, you know, it was a first quarter where Tulsa really started off strong, but ever since Atlanta got that kickoff return for a touchdown, it's been all home team.
Absolutely. And you see the stats on your screen. Although Atlanta under or less yards in total, really you're not including the huge kickoff return.
That's a laser throw by Brian Dynasty to Boo Chisholm, who was a little bit quiet here in the first quarter, but another catch to move the chains as JQ has been on the sideline for what feels like 30 minutes.
Yeah, Boo Chisholm with his first catch of the afternoon. Hall of Famer Boo Chisholm, the 2nd Hall of Famer in this team alongside BDG Hollywood.
Another handoff goes to BDG. That time he gets tackled for a 3-yard loss. Jaden Swift and company making the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Let's get to the rest of the Tulsa defense. Chris Andrews and Verto Demore at defensive ends. Mike Mello and Jaden Swift defensive tackles. Miles Gibson, David Ware, and Philadelphia Collins are the linebackers. Nate Heslep, J. Rock, Cameron Shaw, Travis Arthur, and Marcus Swift are the defensive backs. Brian Dynasty moves up in the pocket, runs, and he gets the touchdown!
Wow. I mean, Atlanta, they don't have a lot of rushing touchdowns per game or in total. Let's add that one to the very few rushing touchdowns, and coming from who else but Brian Dynasty, making his BDG Hollywood impression with a scramble down the middle. And boy, did Tulsa give him the red carpet. There was nobody there.
Wow, what a drive by Atlanta. 14 plays, 69 yards, and balanced. You know, 9 mostly runs, but 4 of 4 passing as well. A drive that was just masterful. Every 3rd down was converted, and Brian Dynasty with the rushing touchdown, and 14-3 Swarm leads Tulsa. And Mark, you know, it's an 11-point game early, but Tulsa hasn't played bad. I mean, it's you know, defensively they're allowing a lot of 3rd downs to be converted, but offensively they've been pretty solid. They've gotten a couple tackles for a loss. They just need a spark. And how about this spark by Gabriel Manning, almost breaking loose, returns it to a 30-yard line.
Yeah, you're right. They do need a spark. Gabriel Manning, maybe they'll need more than one spark, I think, because to your point, they have a solid offense, but against this Atlanta defense, perhaps solid is not enough. Perhaps they need like a razor-sharp, super high-powered offense, and we'll see if they can manifest one in this drive.
You will throw, JQ. JQ will go down. Actually, nobody got open, and the defensive line gets to the quarterback. That's Leo Jefferson with the sack.
Yeah, absolute. Basically a coverage sack. And that is when all of your options downfield are covered. And Atlanta's defense really putting on the pressure. Tulsa, if they want to keep pace, Ramos, I think a touchdown is what they want to secure, but not a good start when they're already 2nd and 18.
Full wide receiver set from the shotgun. JQ will throw again to the outside. The pass is incomplete. Dropped by DJ Hume. And a 3rd and very long 18. And I'm afraid that, you know, this is exactly where Atlanta starts, you know, demonstrating their dominance, and the wheels can just completely fall off the cart.
Right.
3rd down and 18 yards to go with 4 wide receivers from under center. Q to throw. JQ passes very short and almost intercepted Cree Higgins with the pass deflection. And it's 4th and forever. The Tulsa Desperados will have to punt.
Yeah, that drive, the the Atlanta defense absolutely demolished Tulsa's drive, preventing any sort of hope for yards. I think, yes, this drive netted them -8 yards actually out of this 3-and-out, resulting in a punt. And really, I think I gotta give credit to that front defensive line. They gave pressure. The first, the sack. The second was a coverage. Second was pressure up front that made Jake you throw a bad pass, and suddenly here they are right now, 4th and 18 in the punt.
Moore from the 42-yard line gets it to the 46. And the Atlanta Swarm offense will come into the field again. The SFL convention is coming to Cincinnati, Ohio, July 28th to the 30th for Season 21 kickoff weekend. For room reservation details and the weekend schedule, see the hashtag conversion alert channel in the SFL Discord server. Rooms are going fast, so you serve your special group right today. We'll see you there. 5 wide receivers for Brian Dynasty. And he will throw deep, and the pass is going to be caught by Boo Chisholm on one-on-one coverage. Really good coverage by the corner, but an even better throw.
Yeah, just an incredible throw. And what about that catch too? Catching under duress, grabs the ball, puts it in his pocket, and says, "Good night, I'm going to bed with this ball with me." And Boo Chisholm, I mean, we talk about his career already with 13,000 yards in his career and putting out an incredible season once again.
Well, wide receivers again. Brian Dynasty, free play for the Swarm. Pass goes to the outside to Falco, about an 8-yard gain, and it'll be interesting. I will take the play here, Mark.
Right.
I'll take a 2nd and 2 instead of a 1st and 5.
Especially where they are in the field position as well. They are in the 31-yard of Tulsa, so good to call. Well, yeah, yep. That's right.
The Swarm decline. The penalty. Siege Falco gets 8 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. And to your point, they do get into field goal range. In Atlanta, they just have so many weapons. It's just a complete boss to be completely honest with you. I mean, even Mitchell O'Brien has gotten involved in this game for a couple of first downs. This is going to be another handoff to BDG Hollywood, and BDG gets enough for a first down and plenty more to the 15-yard line. 7 carries for BDG, only 4 yards per tote, but has been instrumental getting those first downs.
Yeah, and also, I mean, so many key blocks. Everyone securing their blocks. Tulsa really struggling to shed any of those blocks, getting to BDG Hollywood, and of course Hollywood, the great player that he is, just takes advantage, finds the edge route to run to, open space, gets the first down.
1st and 10, ball at the 15-yard line, 3 wide receivers. Dynasty to throw to the outside. The pass is caught by Fenimore, who slides out of bounds, gain of 5 to the 10-yard line. Atlanta has gotten 3 drives in the game, the previous 2 with touchdowns. Well, one of them was a kickoff return for a touchdown, and they have just been on point throughout. 2nd down and 5, 3 wide receivers set. Dynasty changing the play at the line of scrimmage. 3-3 defense shifting for Tulsa. Dynasty will throw. Dynasty to the outside. The pass is caught. Fenimore again for another first. Inside the 5 to the 4.
Yeah, looking very good. Fenimore now, as you mentioned, 2 first downs in a row. 3 catches and 4 targets. He has 23 total yards. Definitely being utilized in the short game, but it's usually in those 2nd and short, 3rd and short situations that he has been very effective in.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Offset eye. Look for another run here near side with a guard pulling. They've been doing that all game long. This time it's his regular stretch. And BDG Hollywood does not get in. Almost, and probably worth a challenge, Mark.
I mean, they're saying it's on the goal line, so perhaps it is worth a challenge. I don't see any red flags coming out yet, and I don't think they will but goal line, might as well call this a touchdown unless we have some incredible defensive stops from Tulsa.
Look for Mitchell O'Brien here. No, it's going to be a pass. The pass to the outside is deflected
Wow.
away and almost picked off. Atlanta getting just too cute here inside the 1. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, I was also half expecting Mitchell O'Brien with how they utilize him to get some surprise first downs. Could have used him to get a surprise touchdown, and instead throws the ball into a pass deflection. Hey, that's 1 of 3 by this Tulsa defense. They'll need a couple more defensive stops.
3rd down and goal at the goal line. 22 personnel here for the Swarm. Handoff, and BDG is in for another Atlanta touchdown.
Yeah, that was just easy from BDG. He already set himself up by landing on the goal line and, kind of asking his quarterback, hey, just hand it off to me. And hand it off to him. He did. Gets the ball, struts into the touchdown and to the end zone. And it's looking ugly for Tulsa early in this game as Atlanta is poised to go up 21-3.
6 minutes and 8 seconds left. Atlanta have scored 20 and almost now 21 points on the board as this extra point by Steele is up and good. 21-3 Swarm. And we'll take a quick break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music right here on NLSE. Back from the Hive, Ramos Lin and Mark Lopez providing the commentary. Atlanta 21, Tulsa 3 here on some Week 13 action in the SFL. Thank you very much for joining us. Gabriel Manning is going to return this one. He goes just past the 20-yard line into the 24. And Mark, they need to get Douglas Brown involved on the ground a little bit more, man. I mean, 3 carries, only 18 yards. That's 6 yards per tote, which means that if you keep giving him the ball, probably he can make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's averaging 4.5 in the season. So, theoretically, if you keep handing him the ball, he will generate you first downs over and over again.
They're going to hand the ball off to him, and that time it doesn't work. Swole Williams makes the tackle for a loss. It's going to be a loss of 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 12 coming up here for the Desperados. The Desperado team that, again, at 7-3, have had a really good season, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball, they do score 28 points per game. That's 10th best in the SFL. But passing and total yards per game, they're ranked second last and third last overall in all of football. JQ will pass. The pass goes deep and it's deflected away. Somehow the pass intended for Gabriel Manning, 3rd and 12.
And that was a very pivotal deflection because Manning was just wide open. Otherwise, could have run it all the way for a touchdown. And you're talking about the season that Tulsa has, Ramos. They're so far 7-5. 7-3. They were 7-5 the last 2 seasons, and last season they did not make the postseason. They're looking to make a win here to change that fate.
Q shifts to the left. JQ passes middle and into triple coverage. No chance.
Yeah.
No chance as Papino makes the deflection. Great coverage by Atlanta's defensive backfield. First JQ didn't have anywhere to throw to. Was in the pocket for like 7 seconds. And Tulsa will have to get off the field again, and Atlanta will have some great field position.
Yeah, what a play. That felt like it was just a matter of seconds. If JQ held the ball for 1 more second, I thought I saw Sanzo Robinson just about to break away from everyone else, but then that extra second could have also been the sack.
On 4th down and 12, Kyle Fenimore will get the punt. Gets it to the 43-yard line, and the Swarm will have the ball again with 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. The Atlanta Swarm so far this season, they are 7th in the SFL in points per game, almost 30 points per game. 19th in passing yards per game and 6th in rushing yards per game. What really helps them is their 3rd down percentage. They're 6th best, 59% on 3rd down. Dynasty will hand the ball off to BDG Hollywood, who tries to spin. Gain of 1 yard. And Gotti is out for the rest of the game.
That's unfortunate. We're being informed that previous drive by Tulsa, that 4 and out, or 3 and out, back-to-back 3 and outs for them, the second drive in a row where they netted negative yards, so not looking good in offense.
2nd down and 9 with the ball at the 44. Handoff again to BDG Hollywood. This time has a lot of room. Past the 40, past the 30, past the 25. And BDG Hollywood, the man, is faster than anybody else. Touchdown Swarm.
And I know someone who might be watching in their couch shouting that key phrase of BDG Hollywood crossing the well-known boulevard, because he makes a huge play, a huge run, and once he's set loose, you cannot catch him. Look at that. Loses one guy, makes the second guy look foolish, and he's making everyone look foolish on Tulsa as he gets his 2nd touchdown.
BDG Hollywood, 13 seasons in the league, all with the Swarm. It's actually kind of amazing. He's only been an All-Star 3 times in his career. Last time was season 14 when the Swarm won the championship. So it's been 3 full calendar years without BDG being in the All-Star game, which is, again, kind of impressive. But 28-3. And, well, I don't want to say anything, Mark, but, hey, an Atlanta team winning by 28-3? I mean, it's not over yet, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. It is not over. It is only the second quarter. That proverbial 28-3 did happen with less time, but you look at this, you look at Jack Stata's 4.5 spread, maybe there is something to worry about with 28-3.
Not to worry on that kickoff return by Gabriel Manning, just past the 15 to the 20-yard line, and the updated numbers, I mean, there's just no contest. The Tulsa Desperados really started off the game strong. First drive, 11 plays, 46 yards. And Tulsa, ever since, 5 yards on 15 plays.
Yikes.
Handoff to Douglas Brown to the outside. That one is pretty decent. A gain of 4 to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, that was decent. There was good things happening there. There was some good blocking for Douglas Brown. He was able to find space, pick up 4 yards. And again, as I mentioned, his average is 4.5. 4 yards here, about a little under 6 yards the rest of his, average this evening. They should get it more.
Hugh, the pass deep, and it's incomplete, deflected away by Jack Napier, trying to connect with Bandit again. Bandit only 1 catch so far in tonight's ball game. And this Atlanta Swarm does continue to make impressive plays on defense.
Yeah, impressive. How about this? Despite getting or forcing 0 interceptions against JQ, the Atlanta defense has secured themselves 6 pass deflections, 2 of which were from Cree Higgins, and then the one you saw from Jack Napier. So really, they're getting to the ball and just batting it down.
3rd down and 6, empty set. For Q, JQ throws the ball deep, and the pass is caught by Gabriel Manning. What a great play, and a laser thrown by Q.
Gabriel Manning, what a catch. I mean, he is the man so far for Tulsa. Only his 2nd catch, by the way. All receivers in this Tulsa roster, besides Douglas Brown, having 1 reception. Gabriel Manning gets his 2nd with a big play, and that they needed that, Ramos. They needed some kind of spark, and we mentioned his kickoff returns being a spark. His catch right there, 2nd spark of the game.
By far the best Tulsa's offense has looked since their first drive of the game. Q will throw again. The pass middle is caught again by Gabriel Manning with those very long arms stretching out for the catch. 1st down, Desperados.
What's impressive by that, or with that too, is it was more of a lob pass. So the ball a little slower trajectory, but thrown high, and you gotta respect Gabriel Manning's reach. His catch radius is massive.
1st down and 10, ball at the 37, hand off to Douglas Brown. Outside, no gain, maybe actually loses a yard. 2nd and 11.
Don Fletcher amongst those tackling Douglas Brown, and that was also a good tackle, a combo tackle in fact, to go around the blocker of Douglas. So good defensive play right there.
2nd down, 11 yards to go, 3 receivers. Q will throw. Q, the pass deep, and the pass is incomplete. Could have been intercepted by Henry Corey Jones, the intended receiver. 3rd and 11 at the 38.
And JQ so far has dropped down to 57.1% completion percentage. That's basically most of that was from the pass deflections in this evening. Already up to 6 previously.
Q will throw again. Deep drop back. Q deep, and the pass is wide open for a 1st down. That's Corey Jones. No, DJ Hume again for another big move of the chains.
Yeah, there's definitely no question that JQ can sling it. And you saw right there, he's able to throw big passes downfield.
2-minute warning, Atlanta 28, Tulsa 3, but Tulsa is in the red zone. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music right here on NLSC. We'll be right back. Back in Atlanta, Georgia. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Atlanta 28, Tulsa 3. Three wide receiver set for the Desperados. Q to throw. Q deep drop back. Q to the end zone, and the pass is way overthrown. Probably for the best, as Chris Henry had great coverage on the play.
Yeah, silver lining, of course, for Tulsa on that play is that this is the first time this game that Atlanta is in the shadow of the red zone of Atlanta. They are now inside the 14-yard line, so definitely the closest they've been to score. But to keep pace Ramos' touchdown, I think they're going to need a touchdown.
Yep. Q to throw, the pass deep, and the pass is picked off, easily intercepted by Jack Napier. And that's how Atlanta just absolutely sucks the air out of the Tulsa Desperados offense.
I mean, Jack Napier ran that route better than the receiver right there. I mean, that catch was one-handed too, one-handed interception, showing off his catching skills. And yeah, that takes the wind out of Tulsa's sails. That is gut clenching.
Still 1 minute and 52 seconds left here in the second quarter, as Atlanta will go 3 wide receivers. Let me try to throw the ball deep here on this play. Dynasty does throw the ball deep, and the pass is deflected away brilliantly by Philadelphia Collins. And let's send it to Cameron Irvine for a game break update. Cam?
Thanks, Ramos. Charleston hosting Arizona today, and call them the Apex Predators. Jay Hayden coaching and playing against his former team. He scores the touchdown. Charleston just got an interception. 10-0 Charleston over the 8-2 Scorpions on SFL YouTube right now. Back to you in Atlanta.
Thank you, Cam. This is going to be another run by BDG Hollywood to the outside, and a really good tackle made on the right-hand side by the DB J Rock. 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Yeah, good running by BDG Hollywood, but greater tackling by the Tulsa defense, able to shed the blocks that were being handed to them, as that would have been another open route for Hollywood.
Empty set here for the Swarm. Dynasty to throw. Dynasty throws deep, and the pass is caught again by Blue Chisholm on one-on-one coverage. And Atlanta decides to call their first time out of the half.
Wow. I mean, could you consider that being mossed? Because that was really close.
Yeah, that's been mossed.
Cameron Shaw was right there waiting for the ball to land on his hands, and then out of nowhere was...
Yeah, that's getting mocked for sure. 1st down and 10, the ball at the 48-yard line of Atlanta. Who Dynasty throws it out to Jamal Wooding, doesn't get out of bounds. A 6-yard pickup. The clock keeps running, and Atlanta decides to go into the no huddle. 56 seconds left. Dynasty passes to the outside. Chisholm again, 1st down to the 40. And Atlanta will continue with this no huddle. Maybe just one more play and call your first time out. Dynasty checks it down to BDG. BDG to the 35. And they will actually continue with a no huddle here, Mark.
Yeah, they're already within field goal range, just about.
Passing it to the outside and knocked away by Heslip on the play. Blue Chisholm now with 4 grabs on 7 targets. 3rd down and 4 with 28 seconds left here in the first half.
Man, Blue Chisholm, incredible. That was that huge catch by him earlier where he mossed the defender Cameron Shaw was for 25 yards reception. He has been getting a lot of those long yards.
Dynasty will throw. Dynasty goes deep. The pass is caught by Falco to the 7-yard line, and the Swarm called their 2nd timeout of the half.
Tulsa just cannot stop Atlanta. I mean, what another huge play by Atlanta, and Falco, as is usual, is just like 10 miles away from the next nearest defender, gets himself open on his route, and then of course Brian Dynasty just does his business, throws to his open man.
Just complete Perfection here on the execution on this drive by the Swarm. 23 seconds left at the 7. To throw, Dynasty passing. The ball is caught by Jamal Wooding, only a 1-yard gain. Atlanta will go into the no huddle. One more play here. Dynasty to throw again. Dynasty. He needs to get rid of the football, man. He is going to take a lot of time, and he gets sacked on the play. Thankfully for Atlanta, they do have that last timeout to spend. That was kind of a disaster, but at least Atlanta will be able to come away with 3 points on the board if the field goal is good. And I had a lot of potential to be put in the end zone for a touchdown, and Atlanta getting up 35-3, but instead a sack on the play makes it a field goal attempt here for Steele. This is going to be a 34-yard field goal attempt from the left hash. The kick is up, and it is good from 34, and that's how the first half will come to a close. Swarm 31, Desperados 3. And Mark and I will be right back after this halftime show. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music right here on NLSE.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report, where the Atlanta Swarm are crushing the Tulsa Desperados right now, 31-3. If Tulsa wants any chance at winning the division, they have to win here tonight with Minnesota's win earlier today. Or should I say, if Tulsa wants any realistic shot at a first-round bye, they really needed to scoop up a win. They are about to fall to 7-4 unless they can turn things around. Wow, Atlanta, here's the game right here, folks. 6 for 6 on third down conversions. They have been unstoppable, and they even got a field goal on a third down at the end of the half. So not only have they converted every third down they've gotten, but they have scored points on third down in this game as well. An unusual feat. Atlanta at 9-1. They seem to be the class of the SFL in season 20, going after their second title. They are well on their way to doing that. Tulsa has to seriously wake up. A lot of game left. That's the good news for Tulsa. The bad news is that Atlanta gets the ball to start the second half to make matters worse for the Desperados. Over on SFL YouTube, wow is all I can say. The Arizona Scorpions 8-2 in third place right now, just behind Baltimore and Atlanta, are getting shut out by their former assistant coach, now head coach in Charleston, Jay Hayden, and the rest of the Charleston Predators. That game is 13-0. Charleston about to hit the half. Ashley Jackson has 3 interceptions in the first half, and Arizona doesn't know what to do with the 2-8 Charleston Predators, who are well out of contention for the playoffs. Charleston was the worst team last season, not necessarily this season, but still struggling through their rebuild. Not today. They are blowing out Arizona, at least in the big picture of things. With a 13-0 lead, Arizona has really struggled. Let's hit the updated standings as we get into the later stages of week number 13. Atlanta is in the lead. Baltimore and Arizona follow. Minnesota, with their win over Louisiana yesterday, is now in 4th place. That drops Louisiana out of the top 12 for the moment. Fort Worth is your South leader. Mexico City lost to London today in a blowout. Fort Worth has already blown out Mexico City once before. They will play each other again next week. If Fort Worth wins the game, Mexico City still has an outside shot at the division, so that has not been called yet. Fort Worth takes on already eliminated Motor City, but as you can see here today, just because a team's already eliminated, like the Charleston Predators, it doesn't mean that they won't show up and put up a fight. Then you have the Tulsa Desperados sitting in 6th place right now. The Tulsa Desperados are really struggling to stay relevant in the Central Division. If they lose, they can still win it with a win over Indianapolis in Week 14, plus a Minnesota loss. Minnesota goes to Sioux Falls in Week 14. They will be pretty favored in that game, although the Sparrows are not yet out of it yet. Vegas is 7-3. They are the 7 seed. They are in danger of losing out. They have Baltimore and Arizona, 2 of the top 3 teams, to close out their season. They have Baltimore later tonight. Last time they played Baltimore in Vegas was all the way 5 years ago. And Vegas won that game 31-30 with 3 blocked punts from Merrick Itera. Don't expect to get that kind of heroicism from the veteran corner this week, so they're going to have to figure out how to do it a different way. London beat Mexico City earlier. They are 7-4, and they would be your 8 seed. A London-Mexico City rematch in the playoffs would be your 8-9 matchup. Vancouver sitting at 10 as your Pacific leader. At the bottom of the bracket, it's now Indianapolis at number 11, a .002 difference in their tiebreaker of strength of victory over San Diego for the 11 spot. San Diego is the 12. Houston, with Louisiana's loss, moves into 13th. They are 6-5, followed by the Revs at 6-5. Alamo City is 6-5. Houston and Alamo City have a bye this week, and Louisiana has already lost. Carolina's waiting in the wings. They have to take care of business against Denver tonight. If they do that, that will be 4 teams at 6-5 heading into the final week of the season, and Carolina has these Charleston Predators who are shutting out Arizona right now this afternoon. 31-3 is your score right now between Atlanta and Tulsa. Coming up on Monday, it's the SFL's Impact Monday Game of the Week on the SFL YouTube channel. The 5-5 DC Dragons, who you did not see on that graphic, trying to keep themselves alive in the playoff picture. They will play Baltimore in Week 14, so it's a tough road for DC. They got to have this one against San Diego, and San Diego really needs this one too. Their SOV of 306 is the worst of qualifying teams. They need a win over a team that's sitting at or around 500, and if San Diego can't get that, their 7-5 hopes of getting into the playoffs are probably slim to none. It is a crowded bracket. DC and San Diego is going to be a great game on Monday night. We've got all your updates from Charleston as we go along in the second half. Still blanking Arizona in a stunner right now, and we're just waiting on the pulse of Tulsa to wake up. Their season is crumbling. They do not want to finish 7-5 again, potentially on the outside looking in. They are having a rough time with Atlanta and have Indy at Indy next week. Tulsa's in some trouble. 31-3. This has been your SFL Halftime report presented by APM Music, and we'll see you back here for postgame. Ramos and Mark have your second half call.
Back here in Atlanta for the second half of tonight's ball game. Ramos Lingen and Mark Lopez on the commentary. Atlanta up big 31-3, and they will have the ball to start the second half. And Mark, as we see this return by Atlanta, it's the opportunity here for the Tulsa Desperados, as almost Kyle Fenneman returns this one again for a touchdown. It's the opportunity for the Tulsa Desperados to make a stand here on defense. A takeaway will be obviously the perfect start for them, but they do need to make big plays right here from the start.
Absolutely, and a little bit surprising that we have not seen a single takeaway from Tulsa, who, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, averaging 3 takeaways per game.
BDG Hollywood gets the handoff and a gain of about 3 yards on the play. BDG approaching 100 with 2 rushing touchdowns. It's been a very balanced game here for the Atlanta Swarm Stars. When you look at the overall stats, Bull Chisholm has 4 catches. Siege Falco has 2 catches. Kyle Fenneman with 3 grabs, the same as Jamal Wooding. Mitchell O'Brien has 3 rushing attempts. And BDG Hollywood has 2 catches alongside now 13 carries. This one of the best of the game for him, all the way to the 42-yard line for another Atlanta first down.
Yeah, BDG Hollywood is just wreaking havoc on this Tulsa defense. We were talking about how they need to make a play. They need to start early in this half. They have to solve the BDG Hollywood problem. I think in the 3 plays we saw in the second half, they still haven't figured him out, but they gotta figure him out, and they gotta do it quick.
First down and 10 with the ball at the 42-yard line for wide receiver set. Dynasty will throw. The pass on his land is caught by Siege Falco to the 29-yard line. Another first down for the Swarm.
Yeah, that's a great route by Falco as well, running into underneath the defender Marco Swift. So he protects the ball with his body, prevents Marco Swift from getting in between him and the ball, gets a catch for his team. Another first down by Atlanta, and once again, a seemingly unstoppable offense. They just keep going down the field.
First down and 10 at the 29. 4 wide receivers. Dynasty will throw. The pass middle is caught again. And getting all the way to the 10-yard line is Kyle Fenimore for a first down.
You kidding me? That was also thrown into a little bit of coverage too. So Atlanta showing that they can make open plays and they can make tough plays too. Maybe less covered than I thought it was or that I saw initially, but still a solid play, good catch. Look at this. Inside the 10-yard line already.
Been an absolute demolition here on the first drive of the game. Handoff to Mitchell O'Brien. This time he goes nowhere. Just back to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be second down and 10 as Philadelphia Collins makes the stop.
Second and 10.
Second down and 10 yards to go. Ball at the 10-yard line. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers and a tight end. Dynasty to throw. The pass middle. Caught. Wooding. Touchdown. Swarm.
I mean, they got it all. They got field goals, they got return touchdowns, they got passing and rushing touchdowns, but a quarterback scramble, if you remember that, and Atlanta scoring in all levels of the game.
Brian Dynasty, 17 of 21, approaching 200 yards in the game. Just, wow, what a performance here by the Swarm. I mean, Tulsa is one of the better teams in the league this year, and Atlanta is just pouring it on. The extra point makes it 38-3. Miss any SFL action? Check out highlights of SFL games on the SFL YouTube channel and on Highlight Nation, provided by Victor's Valiant, YouTube's premier sports highlight maker. Subscribe to Highlight Nation and Victor's Valiant on YouTube for all your sports highlight needs. So far in this game, 35-point deficit between Atlanta and Tulsa. Gabriel Manning from the goal line. Manning will get it past 25, spins, and gets it to the 26-yard line. But, you know, hate to beat a dead horse, Mark, but, you know, Atlanta's basically outplaying Tulsa at everything and anything. You know, normally Tulsa's very good on special teams unit. Gabriel Manning is awesome, but even Atlanta is the team that has the kickoff return for a touchdown. Tulsa is not. You know, turnover differential, third down conversions, everything is favoring Atlanta right now. This pass to Douglas Brown to the outside. Breaks a tackle, gets 7 to the 32.
I mean, it's hard to say that they're not out of it when they're 35 points down, right? So, really at this point, we just want to see good, solid football. Like, it's got to start somewhere. It's got to start at the very basics. Convert on your third downs. Protect your quarterback. At the bright side, though, Ramos has only 1 interception so far, JQ.
Just another handoff to Douglas Brown, a gain of 8 to the 40-yard line, first down, Tulsa. And, you know, Douglas Brown, so far this season has been pretty effective. You know, coming into this game, 209 carries. That's 8th most in the Simulation Football League, 937 yards. Does rank in the top 10. 12 touchdowns is 6th most in all of football. And this game, he just has not been given enough opportunities, as JQ will throw the ball again. The pass is caught. That one to the tight end. A gain of 7.
I think running, like when you have an elite running back like Douglas Brown, like BDG Hollywood, it's you're kind of in a tough spot when you get behind early, like Tulsa is in this game, where suddenly your running option becomes less and less viable as you need to get more and more yards quicker and quicker.
This pass again goes to Douglas Brown. Tackle for a loss is the running back. 3rd down and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, and to my point right there, like even that play although not necessarily a running pass. It was a swing pass to your running back, trying to give him opportunities, but you're this late in the game and those kind of opportunities not netting a lot of yards. So very unfortunate, tough place to be in.
Hugh throws the ball deep, and the pass is intercepted by Papineau and being returned to the 45-yard line. What an amazing start here for the Atlanta defense on the second half of play, and just a perfect game for the Swarm so far.
There's a good chance Atlanta might cover the over/under by themselves, plus the 3 points from Tulsa with 2 more touchdowns. So we are in over/under watch right now. That spread though, forget about it.
Over/under at 54.5. At this pace, Atlanta may do that by themselves. High formation, handoff goes to BDG Hollywood, who breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. BDG gets to midfield, a gain of 5. Some of the most exciting 5 yards you'll see.
There's just magic in BDG Hollywood, but it must be either his sustenance, maybe there's something in his shoes, Ramos. I don't know. There's something magical about him. You see him break one tackle, and you're just in awe of his physical greatness.
Handoff again to the outside. BDG Hollywood finds some space and gets a first down just past the 45. And, you know, Atlanta, that's basically all they have to do for the rest of the game, I think. I mean, they've done the job. They're up 35. They just got to make sure they don't turn the football over and they just convert on some second and third downs.
Yep. And usually teams, when they're in this situation, right, you hand it off to eat clock and maybe that'll lead into first downs. Whenever you hand it off to BDG Hollywood, it's rather maybe you'll get that touchdown.
A wide receiver set. Dynasty pass middle. It's caught to Finamore, a gain of 9 to the 36 of Tulsa.
Finamore quietly raking in the numbers. That is his 5th catch in 6 targets and over 50 yards in the evening. So solid outing from him. 3 players in Atlanta have at least 50 yards receiving.
To throw, the pass to the outside is going to be caught by BDG Hollywood, and that's another Atlanta first down, as their third down conversion is just absolutely absurd at this point.
And specifically, their third down efficiency is 6 for 7. The only missed third down was in the third quarter. 1 third down they missed, but that ended in the field goal.
First down and 10, ball at the 32-yard line, split backs formation, and a 22 personnel here. Handoff goes to BDG Hollywood with some space, but a great tackle by the DB. That's, I think, Cameron Shaw on the stop. Only a 1-yard pickup.
Oh, that's an interesting fact. Care of our statisticians. Thank you very much. We talked about how good Atlanta is on third downs. So far in the second half, they haven't even had a third down attempt. That's how good they are.
Wow, unbelievable. Another first down here on this pass to Jamal Wooding. Actually, that's going to be not Jamal Wooding. It's number 84, Show Nuff. Number 2 tight end on this team. And it's just everybody's getting involved. Everybody's contributing to this team here. Our goal line showing defense here for the Desperados. And that time it works, actually. Against 4 wide receiver set. David Ware makes the deflection.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Interesting stutter sound there, but good deflection, absolutely.
Brian Dynasty with a QBR of 115 points, 210 yards passing. It's just been a sensational football game, albeit not a very, it's not like he's throwing for 400, 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. It's just been extremely effective. He's absolutely dicing this Tulsa defense. That time Tulsa with a great play defensively with a tackle for a loss. 3rd down and 13. And it's very rare that we are seeing a 3rd and long out of Atlanta, Mark, but they've been absolutely on point on any and every 3rd down situation so far. Dynasty to throw. Dynasty pass the sticks. The pass is incomplete. Actually, it hits Boo Chisholm. Kyle Fenimore on the shoulder pad. Incomplete, and Tulsa does get a stop on 3rd down.
Yeah. I mean, even in that play where it was an incompletion, Ramos, the ball hit the receiver, still hit him on the body part. So if your body was just tilted a few degrees to the right or to the left, could have been a catch. Who knows? But that goes to show the accuracy of Brian Dynasty.
The field goal by Steele is up, and it is good from 39 yards out. And Atlanta extends their lead to 38 points, 41-3. The Swarm over the Desperados. And, offensively, Atlanta has been incredible. 3rd downs, incredible. Boo Chisholm and BDG Hollywood, the two big stars of this offense are, putting in the work. But really, I cannot overstate how good the defense of the Swarm have been. Tulsa, that's their weak point as a team is the offense. They've not been able to, put up a lot of yards total each and every game. But really, Atlanta has done a sensational job against this Tulsa offense all game long. Let's send it to Cam for another game break update between Charleston and Arizona. Cam?
Thanks, Ramos. Saren Storm this season, 266 yards, 29th in the SFL. Look at that stiff arm. He has 87 this afternoon. Charleston still on top of Arizona, 20-10, nearly out-rushing the number 1 rusher in the league, DJ Moses. Back to you in Atlanta.
Thank you, Cam. This is a throw to Douglas Brown for a gain of 9. And, looking for another score here, Mark, for Tulsa right before the 3rd quarter ends. This game, you have to think it's pretty much out of reach, 38 points. But Tulsa's still a very good team. It was just not their day, as this hands up to Douglas Brown with a couple spin moves gets it to the 38.
Yeah, not their day might even be an understatement, as the day started with a field goal, but then allowing a kickoff return touchdown, and then allowing a quarterback scramble touchdown. The defense, I guess, was reeling ever since the first drive.
His handoff goes to Douglas Brown for a gain of 2 yards. Moose Papineau on the tackle as we reach the end of the 3rd quarter.
Let's go. 2nd and 8 from 40 yards.
2nd down and 8 yards to go. The ball at the 40-yard line. 4 wide receivers here for JQ and company. Dime defense for the Swarm. JQ will throw the pass middle, and it's incomplete. Almost picked off by Higgins again. Gonna make it a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Another 3rd down, and that's the flip side of Atlanta for Tulsa. Is 3rd downs is where they struggled at, except for the very first drive they had. We'll see if they can convert the 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8, ball at the 40-yard line to throw. JQ, the pass middle is caught. One of JQ's best throws of the game, connecting with their tight end. That's DJ Bandit for a 1st down.
Yeah, refreshing for Tulsa, getting another 1st down. Feels like it's been a while, considering either the turnovers or punts they've been having. And look at that, a huge discrepancy in yards. And really, if we could also see the 3rd down conversion rate, that's where Atlanta has Tulsa beat.
Handoff goes to Douglas Brown, and he gets tackled for a loss. 3-yard loss on the play. as this may be the last play of the third quarter of play. And don't leave the broadcast without joining our Discord server. There's so much more to do in the SFL than just being a player. Join to check out content for teams and about the league created by the community. Participate in pick'em games, play SFL fantasy football, and test your skills in the survival pool. To join our server, visit simulationfl.net and click on the Discord icon on the menu. The SFL community, 2,000 strong. We'll see you there as this throw goes to Corey Jones, incomplete. And Atlanta has done pretty much everything really well. What I'm being impressed is those short passes normally are money for Tulsa and a lot of SFL teams. Atlanta has just been all over those, Mark.
Yep, absolutely. It seems like that was what they were actually targeting against Tulsa. They knew, of all things, Tulsa was good at that specific play, and it's worked wonders. Look at the scoreboard; it might be a reflection of that.
Hugh to throw, throws the ball deep, and the pass is caught.
Oh, there you go.
Hume for a touchdown. As Tulsa finally gets their first touchdown of the game, 41-9.
Yeah, and you're right. Finally might definitely be the word of the day because we were waiting for a score from Tulsa. This is their first points on the board since their first drive all the way in the first quarter. And what a play by him as well. What a dime by JQ to find Hume at the backfield for a long touchdown. And DJ Hume finding his groove gets 6 on the board.
With 1 second left in the third quarter, Tulsa puts their first touchdown of the game. On time down makes it 41-10, still in the third quarter. And 31-point deficit. Tulsa really, not giving up in this game. Bad news as they have to kick the ball again to Kyle Fenimore, who's been turn one all the way to the end zone. And he will have another chance at it at the 1 as the 20-yard line and getting it just to the 27. Go out Fenimore. 41-10 is how this game will go to the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music right here on NLSE.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Back here in Atlanta, Georgia, the Atlanta Swarm with a comfortable 41-10 lead. Thank you very much for watching Saturday Night Football. Here with us, Ramos Lynn and Mark Lopez on the commentary. Brian Dynasty will throw this football to Kyle Fenimore for a gain of 6 yards. 6 grabs for 53 yards so far for Kyle Fenimore, as well as a kickoff return for a touchdown. Big shout outs to go to Justin Reside and Ron Haynes for the stats on the stats truck. Thank you, gentlemen, for your efforts. And Mark, Atlanta really flexing their muscles and showing why they're the best team in the Simulation Football League this season.
Yeah, absolutely. 9 wins, 1 loss, and looking like the best team, playing like the best team.
Another run by BDG Hollywood gets it to the 35-yard line, a gain of about 3 on the play. The Atlanta Swarm, a team with 1 championship under their belt. That was back in season 14 when they beat the Sioux Falls Sparrows. The Tulsa Desperados have been a team that has been, inconsistent in their history. They've had probably their best season this season alongside their debut year. I remember in their debut season they started the campaign 8-0. Right out of the gate, and it's been a tumultuous kind of history here for the Desperados, but the past couple of seasons have been pretty good. Season 19, 7-5. Season 18, also 7-5. Now with a 7-3 record. A team that just have to clean up a couple things, and they're a very dangerous one here in the Simulation Football League. Another 1-yard pickup here for BDG Hollywood, getting it to the 38. But Mark, it's Tulsa. Just by eye, man, I think they've had their best season in many years. I mean, even if they finish the season, let's just say they finish the season 7-5, it will be the same as the last 2 years. But something feels even different here about this Tulsa team. They look really good.
Yeah, and I mean, even after coming out of this game with a loss, Ramos, and you look forward to their next game, they're going up against division rivals Indianapolis Ramblers, who themselves are having a pretty similar record. They're 6-4 compared to Tulsa, who's gonna end up at 7-4 after this game. So Indianapolis, we're gonna wait to see what they do or how they perform in their next game before matching up with Tulsa, and that'll be an interesting matchup because that'll be definitely impacting the playoff standings and chances for either team.
There's another big throw to Kyle Fenimore, getting it to the 36-yard line for another Swarm first down. Back to Tulsa, coming into this game 4th in the SFL in points allowed per game, 22.8 points allowed per game. That is, again, coming into this game, and good for 2nd best in team history. Just behind their debut season, only allowing 21.4 points per game. It was another era of the SFL that actually 21.4 ranked 8th best that season. But a defense that has been, played with talent, right? They've always had a lot of talent, but it's been kind of like in the hit or miss category when you look at their history. This season has been pretty spectacular. This game, a down game for them, but so far this season has been a pretty good one defensively.
For sure.
From the 22 personnel, 2 tight ends and 2 backs. BDG Hollywood dotting the offset eye. Hollywood gets the handoff for another Swarm first down to the 25-yard line. The Swarm really milking the clock here on this drive. And if you're a betting person, 41-10, that's 51 points. Over under at 54.5. So a field goal doesn't help the over. If you got the over for this game, you're hoping either Atlanta or Tulsa get a touchdown. Handoff goes to BDG Hollywood again. This time he's tackled at the line of scrimmage. Behind the line of scrimmage, actually a 1-yard loss. Very balanced offense here for the Swarm on the yardage. Passing yards 250 plus, rushing yards 150 plus. And,
Second and 11.
you know, the offensive line, despite one of their offensive linemen going down with an injury, has been absolutely sensational from start to finish.
Yeah, only one sack against Brian Dynasty. To your point about their offensive linemen.
This pass over the middle is caught
Oh.
somehow as Siege Falco finds the football. The linebacker doesn't. And it's another 1st and goal for the home team.
Yeah, that's definitely a good catch right there as well. The defender, number 85, was that number 85 in Tulsa? But just sitting there in the middle, the
85.
linebacker.
Yeah, that's Philadelphia Collins, actually, the linebacker, number 95.
Oh, 95.
Unable to find the football. 1st and goal at the 9. Dynasty will throw. Dynasty to the end zone. Touchdown. Jamal Wooden gets in the end zone. And Atlanta puts 6 more on the board.
They're just crazy good. That is touchdown number 2 for Brian Dynasty. Passing. So he's already up to 3 total touchdowns in this evening. Brian Dynasty, very early favorite for player of the game. It's either him or BDG Hollywood, who himself has 2 touchdowns and over 100 rushing yards. This is the Atlanta dual-headed dragon of an offense.
Yeah. It's been absolutely brilliant, and Atlanta from the kickoff return by Kyle Fenimore that, you know, blew the game completely open at the start of the 1st quarter till now. It's just been pretty much flawless football. 48-10, Atlanta over Tulsa. 7 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Still with the hand up in the air. Gabriel Manning will have another shot at it. From the 2, Manning follows his blockers, gets it past the 25, past the 30 to the 34, his best return of the game. And we'll be right back. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by 8 p.m. Music right here on NLSE.
First and 10.
Back here in Atlanta, 48-10, Atlanta over Tulsa. Saturday night football here in the SFL, week 13. As JQ will throw the ball outside to Douglas Brown, who breaks a couple tackles and Goes to the
Ouch.
41-yard line, hit hard at the 41. 7-yard pickup. And Mark, for Atlanta, there's really not a lot to say about improvements. I think they play pretty much a perfect game, and if they continue to play like this, they can beat pretty much anybody all the way to a championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
This handoff goes to Douglas Brown for about 7 and a first down to midfield. 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore the library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Handoff goes to Douglas Brown, who gets some space. Douglas Brown breaks a tackle past the first down marker to the 40-yard line. One of the better Douglas Brown runs of the game.
Yeah, and you were talking about how Atlanta, there isn't much, like, based on this game, there's like little improvement that we can really give Atlanta. And I sort of agree with that. I mean, even if you look at the numbers, despite being below average in passing yards allowed per game, it's the points allowed per game that matters, and they're top 5 in that, for example.
This is going to be a check down to Douglas Brown, tackle for a loss of 2 yards. Douglas Brown, 7 catches for 28 yards. Not very effective in the passing game so far. Great job by Atlanta's defense on containing him. 12 personnel this time. Q to throw. JQ checks it down again to Douglas Brown, and again Douglas Brown will lose a yard. Same formation as they go in the no huddle. Q to throw. Q goes down on the sack as Billy Ray Valentine gets him for a 5-yard loss, and it's 4th and 18.
I mean, they just get to the backfield so often and so quickly. And we're getting an update on the Atlanta defense stats. 9 total tackles for loss in this game already.
Q to throw. Q checks it down on 4th and 18. Douglas Brown will not be even close from the first down marker, and Atlanta will take over on downs.
By the way, the score is 48-10. We are at the precipice of a record being tied for the biggest margin of victory ever. Biggest margin of victory ever was in season 17, 48-3. Can you guess who was the team defeated in that margin of victory?
Just give me a second to think about it. This handoff goes for a loss of 2 yards. Okay, repeat that. Say it again.
Biggest margin of victory ever was 48-3, so that's 45 points. That's about where we almost are right now. But that wasn't
48-3.
season 17. Who was the team who got the 3 points in that game? You'd be surprised if
I'm not looking at it. I don't want to look at it, of course, because I will be cheating.
yeah.
48-3 from Atlanta to another team. I will say St. Louis.
I'm not sure who the team who got 48 points was, but the one who got 3 was in fact Tulsa. So it was Atlanta versus Tulsa.
Wow.
As well.
Unbelievable. 3rd down and 4 here for Atlanta. Atlanta has been consistent throughout pretty much their whole history. They've been an awesome team, but this is the best they've played since season 14, and I will dare to say this is even better than season 14. If you remember that season 14, they were blowing out teams out of the water and everything. They were great. Won a championship against Sioux Falls, but this is next level. Let's send it back to Cam for another game break update between Charleston and Arizona. Cam?
Can you believe it, Ramos? Ashley Jackson today, no touchdowns, 5 interceptions, couldn't convert this 4th and 2, and then the defense couldn't get off the field on 3rd and 1. Charleston wins 20-13. They go to 3 and 8, drop Arizona to 8 and 3. Back to you guys in Atlanta.
Thank you, Cam. One of the biggest upsets of the SFL season. Absolutely, Arizona, a legit championship contender, losing against a Charleston team that has been eliminated for a couple weeks already. Let's send it to a break. 48-10, Atlanta over Tulsa. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, right here on NLSE. Back here in Atlanta, 5 wide receivers for Tulsa. 2 minutes left in the game. Atlanta up big, 48-10. Q will throw. Q middle. The pass is almost picked off by the backup linebacker as the backups are in for the Swarm. That was number 54 on the deflection, Peyton Chisholm. And even the backups are making some great plays. JQ with a QBR of 58.6, 200 yards passing. Does have those 2 interceptions. 5 wideouts. JQ will throw again to the outside. The pass is caught by Garrett Manning for a gain of 7.
And another incredible stat, and I know we keep throwing incredible stat after incredible stat from Atlanta. We saw them kick their first punt in the game. The last drive that we saw them before we went for a break. That was only their 3rd punt in their last 27 drives, including last week's game.
3rd down and 3 with the ball at the 27-yard line. 3 wide receivers. JQ will throw. Q passes to the outside. It's caught in a big hit. Provided to Corey Jones. At the 36, Tulsa will throw again. JQ checks it down to Douglas Brown. Brown spin moves 2 yards. Just nothing after the catch for Tulsa, and that's been pretty much the story for the whole game. There's just not a lot after the catch. This pass is going to be incomplete, overthrowing the tight end.
Yeah, a lot of minimal to no catch or no yards after a catch. A lot of those plays too where JQ throws it in the middle only to get deflected or batted down. You've had, I believe, 10 pass deflections already total from this Atlanta defense. Sorry, 9.
It's a 3rd down and 8, ball at the 38. Q to pass, and he gets hit as he throws. Billy Ray Valentine with the pressure, 4th and 8. One minute and 19 seconds left here in regulation. 5 wideouts for JQ. Dying defense for the Swarm. Q to throw. Q middle. The pass is incomplete. Deflected away by the defense. And Atlanta will take over on downs.
So with Atlanta coming out to 10-1 after this game, they are definitely the team to beat going into the last week, and definitely I think going into the playoffs as well. Ramos, who do you think are the teams that will be the biggest threat to Atlanta?
Well, I mean, you have to think, the usual suspects like Baltimore is one. I will think Arizona, despite today's loss against Charleston, they have to be one. Gotta throw Minnesota up in the mix. I think they're a pretty complete football team. But honestly, throughout 13 weeks of SFL football, I really haven't seen a team that really can stack up consistently against the Atlanta Swarm.
And it's the balance in their game plan too. That's kind of they're a threat in all facets of the game.
Right. Atlanta is 9-1. Their loss was against the Minnesota Legend, and it was a big loss. They lost 48-20. So that's why part I have to include them. Also, Minnesota has made kind of a thing for a signature for themselves is like they beat great teams, right? They beat Baltimore last season. They gave Baltimore the only loss last season, and they probably are giving Atlanta its only loss in the season as well this year. So gotta put them. Those are the 3 teams, I think, the 3 bigger teams that can stack up against the Swarm. This is a play action, and even the backup quarterback is absolutely slinging the heck out of the football for another first down.
Yeah, they're just balling out right now. They're having fun out there. And I agree with you. I think those 3 teams as well would be also my top 3 teams to potentially go up against Atlanta and prove to be a match. These games are all results from the regular season. And, there's a saying that sometimes the playoffs is a separate beast, but the way Atlanta is dominant, teams need a lot of catching up to, at least in my opinion, to get to Atlanta's level.
We're gonna take some knees now. This game will come to a close, 48-10. And Mark, I just wanna hear your final thoughts as well as player of the game. What you got?
I mean, it has been Atlanta all evening, from their very first drive, which was a kickoff return touchdown, all the way to the end where even their backups were making plays. It was scoring after scoring. Every single drive was a scoring drive, except for the last punt. And I think it's momentum. Atlanta is a team to beat, and every team will be looking out to see how to beat them. They'll be looking back at the Minnesota game for sure, see what came out of that. But Tulsa, I think the season is not over for Tulsa in terms of playoff contention. They have games against Indiana, and I believe one more game. Sorry, I think Indiana is their last game, and that will settle their standings in the playoffs. That will be a key game for them, so look out for that too.
Good. So who's your player of the game right quick before...
I'm gonna give it to the quarterback of Atlanta, Brian Dynasty.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Kyle Penamore. He just completely blew the game open with a kickoff return for a touchdown. That's it for us, folks. Thank you very much for watching more Week 13 action of the Simulation Football League. I was Ramos Lin. That was Mark Lopez. And thank you all. Have a great night.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Cam.
Yeah. Anywho, um, I'd like to say good game, but not really.
Yep, let me go. Yep, let me go jump over to Game 7 because that's the big one for me.
Bye, Ron.
Thank you, Ron. And thank you, Justin. Yes, sir.
Yes. You
Alright.
too. Good
Well,
luck
have a
rest
great
of
one.
the weekend, Cam. Goodbye.
Welcome back to SFL Studios for your post-game update. 48-10, Atlanta takes care of Tulsa. They move to 10-1 and get closer, ever so close to clinching that #1 seed. In fact, with the Arizona loss, all they now need is Baltimore to lose to Vegas tonight. That's a 9 p.m. Eastern kickoff in about half an hour on SFL YouTube. And if they do that, Atlanta is your #1 seed in the season 20 playoffs. For Tulsa, they're in trouble. 7-4. They fall. They've got Indy next week, who is 6-4. They take on LA on Sunday night. They are heavy favorites in that game. It could be a 7-4 versus 7-4. Winner makes the playoffs. Loser does not. That could be the situation Sunday night. For Arizona and the big loss to Charleston, they now will have to fight for the West Division next week against Las Vegas. Whether the Las Vegas Fury win or lose tonight against Baltimore, if Vegas falls to 7-4, they beat Arizona earlier this season, and they would clean sweep them at 8-4 and win the division. If Arizona wins, they take care of business. They would have the better record and potentially send Vegas spiraling out of the playoffs as well. So Tulsa and Vegas in extremely precarious situation right now for the two losers of games in this block today. Atlanta just continues to fire on all cylinders. They have been terrific. Next week on Next Level Sports, it's the last week of the SFL regular season, and it takes us to San Antonio, where the Alamo City Artillery at 6-5 will host South Division rival Houston, who is also 6-5. The Headhunters have won 5 in a row. A playoff team from last season, they got into the playoffs with a 7-5 record, lost to Sioux Falls by 2 points. Alamo City was 6-6 last season, and they missed the playoffs. So those two situations could play out exactly how they did in season 19 if Houston were to get the W. Alamo City is not going to back down. They want to get themselves back into the playoffs after an up-and-down season. So you got two 6-5 teams in the South. They are both on the outside looking in of the playoffs as of this moment. Carolina plays Denver later tonight to see if they can stay relevant at 6-5 in the playoffs as well. But there you see Houston right now in 13th, Alamo City in 15th, both desperate for a win, both hoping to see Indianapolis and San Diego lose in their remaining games this week to create total chaos at the bottom of the wild card bracket. It's going to be a really interesting game. Two teams that have not been showcased on national TV yet this season, and two teams that are playing some really good football. Alamo City loves to hand it off to Brad Jones and sling the ball down the field. Houston, even more so with the deep threat of DR Sim and Mike St. Green on the outside. Should be a terrific game. We've got more action in the SFL coming up tonight. Carolina, Denver, Baltimore, and Vegas. And then tomorrow, a 4-pack of games starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Monday night's game is San Diego and D.C. that we previewed a little bit at halftime. Your final score of this one, 48-10 Atlanta smokes Tulsa. Last week we got 2 overtime games in the same block on national television. This week we just weren't as lucky. That's live sports. That's football. Atlanta dominates 48-10 over Tulsa. From all of us at the Simulation Football League, it takes a village. Thanks to everyone out there who supports the league and has a good time watching real people play as their virtual characters living out their football dreams. We certainly have fun bringing it to you each week. From all of us at the SFL, I'm Cameron Irvine. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.